High Court here, where the case for determination of our inclusion in the debate had just been concluded. We have a lawyer here. I'm not a lawyer, but I will just tell you that what we saw in court is very interesting. We had John Momo, who is the CEO of Channels, sent lawyers to court, even though he wasn't served officially, and his lawyers argued that they received service last Friday, but because of logistics, they couldn't file their defense until today. They even came to court having not served or filed any of their papers. So, but when we got to court, a lawyer, very competent, vibrant, and intelligent lawyer here, I did tell the judge that we are going to discontinue the case against John Momo. But interestingly, instead of John Momo accepting the discontinuation of the lawsuit, the lawyers launched into a prolonged legal technicality that because they have filed some cases, they want 1 million naira from us. You know, we argue that since they have not been served, in fact, in one of their filings, they said that, which they later made available to our lawyer, they said that they have found that the service was defective, meaning that there was no service in the first place anyway. But he wanted 1 million naira. The judge did rule eventually that they cannot afford to take more than 5,000 naira. So reluctantly, they awarded him cost of 5,300 naira, which is still painful to us because they owe us a lot, you know, for bringing us this far, even though we're entitled to feature in that debate better than anyone. But the sad part is that the judge is a vacation judge, and his role as a judge has ended as soon as the vacation of a judge is ended. So he respectfully recused himself and said he'll return our case back to the chief judge. So it's up to our lawyer to follow up to ensure that the chief judge assign the case to a new judge, and the hearing will continue from there. But we have been able to get rid of the obstacle of having John Momo, who couldn't be served, who featured in the case, just so that he can cause the delays that happened today, in my view, out of the case. So we are now set to move our motion or argue the case for hearing to get included. I don't know how quickly we can get our results, but it's just to give you guys the update regarding our case in Abuja today. And just to tell you that we're doing very good. There's no cause for alarm, whether they like it or not. We have been able to make the point that this was a fraud. We even saw the executive secretary of NEDG in court. You could tell how he was panting, that they've done something wrong. And from what the lawyer told me, they didn't even file anything tangible anyway to show that there was any credible reason for the exclusion. They filed no evidence, as they had always claimed that this was done through some procedures of surveys, interviews, and also polling. They filed none of such things. But since I'm not a lawyer, I will hand over to our lawyer to just tell us what happened in court today from their own legal standpoint.
Well, gentlemen of the press, I want to say that we have made and recorded remarkable progress in this matter. Ordinarily, cases don't go this fast. Indeed, even before you can have a case assigned and same heard by a judge to this point, it takes some time. But because of the peculiarity of our case, the urgency involved, given that the debate we are talking about is just a few days away, we had to file an affidavit of urgency to request that this matter be determined expeditiously. That is why we also came to the vacation court. But as you are aware, the vacation had ended in the FCTI court. So my lord, rightfully and properly, in line with the law, stated today that since the vacation had ended, his jurisdiction to continue with the matter has equally ended. So the proper order to make is for the file to be transmitted to the Honorable Chief Judge of the FCT for reassignment to a new judge, who will now consider and determine our application for interlocutory injunction and of course the originating summons on the substantive case. Indeed, the question of John Momo had been resolved today, in that John Momo is no longer a party to this suit. We would have loved him to be a party to it, given the role that he played. But we are confident that without him, the case can still proceed, because he was, at the material time, the chairman of Bond. And Bond is the second respondent defendant in this suit. Bond has been served, they have filed processes. So what binds Bond also binds John Momo. And actions he took it on behalf of Bond. So we have made progress, and we are hoping that in the coming days that this matter will be reassigned. We are confident and hopeful that we'll have a judicial determination of our case. I don't want to speak on the merits or otherwise of our lawsuit. All I can tell you is that this is an opportunity for the judiciary to indeed set a precedent. Nigeria operates a multi-party democracy. You cannot run a multi-party democracy on the principle of exclusion. It has to be on the principle of inclusion. Yes, so when we get to court, we'll make that point. All I can say today is that all the hiccups and barriers and obstacles to the hearing of a matter have been removed today, and we are hopeful that we are going to get judgment before the debate. Thank you.
Are you not okay?
Yes.
Are you not worried that the defense counsel has, when he was talking to the judge, that they have actually filed a counter affidavit opposing your originating summon and interlocutory injunction?
No, as I speak, those processes technically cannot be said to be before the court. To start with, and even as admitted by them, and of course as held by the court, as evidenced by the records before the court, we could not serve the third defendant, John Momo. The bailiff of court deposed to an affidavit, and I made that point in court, that the court cannot abdicate from an affidavit deposed to by his own officer. And the court agreed with us that indeed there's a process, there's an affidavit before the court showing that the third defendant was not served. So the processes they have filed in the eyes of the law no longer exist. Because as I speak now, John Momo is no longer a party to this suit. So whatever he had filed does not exist in the eyes of the law.
Let me also add, and this on the part of the judge exhibited very interesting humor in court. He kept referring to me as Your Excellency.
That's right.
Which means that he has gotten the memo that there's a new president coming next year. And I had an opportunity to speak to the judge. I said, I'll see you in a new Nigeria. And he nodded to it. And I wish him happy vacation. He needs to go on vacation from the kind of country we are in, so that when he returns, he'll be working in a brand new Nigeria headed by us, whether there's a debate on their part or not. But this is what is important to say about this, and this is a notice to John Momo. Those of you who didn't know the role John Momo played, John Momo showed his hand in court today to show that he was the person that was used to execute this crime against Nigerian people in excluding us from the debate. The kind of behavior his lawyers exhibited in court showed clearly that John Momo had more than a passing interest in ensuring that we're excluded. He came here arguing that he had filed, even after the judge told him that you are no longer part of this case. Typically, when there's a discontinuation of a case against a party of his nature, he will exclude himself and happily say, well, you have relieved me of my misery. But he was asking us for 1 million naira. After collecting all the dirty money he collects all over the place, he still wants Sowore to pay him. They actually said that he spent 5 million naira. That's what they said in court, that he spent 5 million naira on this case, just to counter us in a case that typically should not concern him. But this is just to show to you who the real interested parties are in the case. It's Channel Television and CEO John Momo. They are the ones who executed this, and they are the ones who made it happen. I'm just letting Nigerians know that when you see John Momo, you know what he's about and what his TV station is all about. We are not fighting the press. We are just fighting unscrupulous elements who happen to be media entrepreneurs and managers in this country. And that's what we keep telling the press, that you have not done a good job of allowing inclusiveness, even in the coverage of the presidential election. You can imagine that the only interview whatsoever that has been done since this election cycle started with Buhari is an interview in which he said he cannot do a live interview. Saying that he can't do that with what's the TV station that he was supposed to interview with, Arise, shows that Buhari is not likely to come to the debate, because the man cannot handle live questions, probably because he's not alive to his responsibilities as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But it's important to let you know that our campaign continues. This does not in any way affect us on January 23rd, we will be doing a town hall meeting with the VP here. The sad part about that is that it's just us facing an audience as opposed to an opportunity to demolish all these pretenders who claim to be running for the presidency of Nigeria. But regardless of what happened today, we had a very interesting experience, and we're happy to inform you that we're still on course to winning the election February 16, 2019. Take it back, people.
Action! Take it back. Action! AAC! No going back.
VP, they say you should say something.
Well, I have to thank our legal team for the effort they put in coming to this. The vice presidential debate that took place in December has already gone, but we are determined to continue with our case so that we get the presidential, we get ourselves actually represented in the presidential debate that is coming on the 19th. But we are aware already that the president might travel for health leave, right? But we are interested to debate with other parties there still, so that we see the president in absentia and then we'll be loaded there. So make no mistake, this legal struggle will continue, and then we want to thank our followers that kept their actually hearts with us, and then we are going to continue with our campaign. This is not going to distract us from what we are doing. In fact, it's also part of the distraction that they excluded us in the first place. We don't have to drag anybody to court to debate with our other political parties, and to use it as a platform to spread our good message, to the messages to the Nigerian people. So we thank you once again, and we'll see.
Take it back. Action! Take it back. Action!